Erida was a risless loser who failed to bag his crush because she only dates gigachads with OP physiques like Sung Jin-woo. However, his pathetic life changes when he discovers he and his 5 smoking hot sisters aren't blood-related and he claps them instead, finally upgrading from gooning to the real family discount. Before this, Erida begs his brother to show him how to bag a girlfriend since he's at that age where every teen boy wants to wet their pickle. But Cheyenne ignores the loud gorilla and keeps playing Mario Kart. Since Cheyenne is clapping the most popular girl in school, Erida demands the formula, but the game head just tells him to go with the flow. A flow Erida knows about, so he yells at Cheyenne to explain. As if it's his fault, the one and only girl Erida liked rejected him because she heard a rumor that his meat couldn't pass the buns. Turns out, it was more like a sad little hot dog in a stadium bun. No one even noticed it was there. Suddenly, the duo sisters Katomo, Minani, CIA, Bonri, and Uka interrupt the boys, and the science nerd of the group points out that conversations between guys are usually 10% hobbies, 30% girls, and 60% sex, which is honestly accurate. Add another 10% for edging sessions that end in blue balls and existential dread. CIA bets Erida was demanding the dirty details of Cheyenne and her relationship, while the big bad wolf huffs and puffs, trying to deny it. So loud, he doesn't even hear Cheyenne telling the girls about his late-night gooning session toward them, because nothing says family bonding like edging to your adopted sisters while they sleep. For that, Oka commands her canine to bite the shit out of Erida. That's when the loser finally realizes what caused all these tooth holes in his ass. Turns out the dog was just jealous it wasn't getting any action either. He stands up and asks the girls why he pervs on them when he has a cultural anime DVD collection. But the girls treat his words like wind and assure him they'll never trust a dirtbag like him, especially after he tried forcing plot development on Katomo. Classic move, bro. Nothing screams healthy like turning your sister into a waifu speedrun. However, Bonri pleads with the girls to go easy on him, arguing it's normal for a Vegentine boy to go through this. Jimmy Neutron, the girl version, denies it's abnormal for a guy to simp for his sisters, as if she never watched Skies of Connection or Origairu, explaining that inbreeding can cause deformity. Good thing they're adopted, or Erida's kids would come out looking like cursed Pokemon. Bonri then tells the young cub there's more to the human psyche than science can explain so far, even suggesting CIA must have a crush, which she denies. Yeah, because nothing kills a boner faster than realizing your crush is just repressed family trauma. Joining the conversation, Minani claims she has no problem with Erida, which makes him think Bonri isn't the only one on his side, only for her to destroy his plot-making abilities. While he gasps for air, Oka asks Cheyenne if he'll be free this Saturday since they're throwing a birthday party for Katono, and he promises to be there. Katono then asks Erida if he has any plans, and he assures her that even if he does, none of them are as important to him as she is, because jerking off to her bathwater pics can wait 5 minutes. Later at the train station, ugly, disgusting losers lust over the Shiunji sisters, thinking how awesome it would be to live with them. Little do they know it's 90% blue-balled edging and 10% accidental walk-ins on family therapy sessions. Meanwhile, Erida and Cheyenne chill at a spot alone, while passing girls blow kisses at Cheyenne, but ignore Erida, who makes them want to puke. At school, Erida recalls the simps at the station, wishing they could live with his sisters, but he points out that if that ever happened, they'd be begging to get iced on the first day because little do they know, his sisters are a pain in the ass. Literally, if you count the time Oka's dog mistook his balls for chew toys. Cheyenne, on the other hand, can't really be mad at simps lusting after his sisters. After all, they are pretty, but Erida only sees them as sisters, not his personal protein milk dump, yet. Cheyenne then brings up Erida and Katono's freaky situation. And Erida explains that Katono wanted to be in an intimate relationship with him, but he rejected her, afraid the other sisters would float his head across the sea like Katsura. Looking out the window, Erida sees his crush walking by, shining like diamonds, unlike him whose life is dull and mediocre and goes unnoticed by her, probably because she can smell the desperation and week-old socks from a mile away. That night, Erida hops on Instagram to follow his crush, but hesitates, thinking she'll just ignore his follow request. He was about to bust a fat one to her profile pic instead. Classic edging session, because finishing to real pussy feels too much like commitment. When Uka walks in, asking to borrow his notes while Uka copies them like how you dunce-head losers copy your friend's homework. Erida sneaks a glance at her melons, which she almost catches in 4K. Changing the subject, she asks him about his crush, but he refuses to entertain her fan service and instead wants to punch Cheyenne's face for leaking his secret. But realizing she's going to be up his ass until scientists de-extinct the woolly mammoth like they did the dire wolf, he confesses his crush on Yokoyama, who happens to be in Uka's committee club. So she volunteers to help. However, Irida remembers Quick Toon Recap's advice to never let anyone rizz up a girl for you and cancels Uka like she's above. He assures her that even if he moves slow as a snail, he'll ask her out himself, because nothing accelerates rejection like admitting you're still a virgin at 16. Meanwhile, Katono simps over an image of Erida, wondering when the day will come when he helps increase the world population with her. The next day, on the walk home, Erida wonders how life would have turned out if he wasn't born into a rich family, almost pissing his pants when he sees Yokoyama rubbing down her Giga-Chad boyfriend's chest, probably wondering if her hands been places Erida's pickle could only dream of. It's Katono's birthday, and Erida sits in his room thinking about the guy he saw Yokoyama with before running into Uka, who compliments his suit. Everyone gathers in the dining hall where Uka and Manabe start beefing over some cheap Shein AirPods. Uka claims Manabe lost them because she plays too many damn video games, but Manabe claps back, reminding her how she's always losing library books, so who is she to talk? Tired of the noise, Erida shouts at them to stop forcing themselves into each other's ass. "Can't y'all see a chill guy over here trying to wait for the party to start?" he yells. CIA agrees and tells the fighting grandmas to calm the hell down. Their dad's coming. Later, just as they're about to make a toast, Daddy Bear stops everyone, saying he has something important to share, something he's been saving for Katono's 15th birthday. He then drops the shocking news that they aren't real siblings but adopted children. Only Katono and Cheyenne are blood-related, being twins. Hearing this, everyone screams, with Erida almost propelling through the ceiling if it wasn't for gravity, because nothing kills a boner faster than "you're adopted," unless it's "you're adopted and now legal." Daddy explains that since they're all grown now, it's the perfect time to tell them when they're mature enough to handle it. Oka and Erida stare at each other, like they suddenly realize what's been holding them back from clapping cheeks all along. Years of blue-balled restraint finally paying off like a delayed nut. Clapping his hands, Mr. Shiunji suggests they continue, adding that if anyone has questions, they can always ask him. But the truth already fried everyone's brain cells, including their taste buds, so none of them have the appetite to eat, except maybe Erida, who's suddenly starving for something else entirely. Afterward, the siblings gather for tea. Manabe says she doesn't remember what she ate, and Erida jokes that she ate him, because in this family, dinner hits different now that the blood relation excuse is gone. Surprisingly, the girls don't try to cut off his sausage this time now that they know they aren't related. Turns out the real threat was always the family dog knowing too much. Oka, on the other hand, refuses to accept the truth. She wishes her dad never said anything, but CIA assures her their dad made the right choice, telling them now before it was too late, before Erida's gooning addiction turned into full-on family breeding arc. Still, Uka feels betrayed, like her dad deceived her. Manabe tries to cheer her up, saying that despite not being related, they should feel lucky a wealthy businessman adopted them. Uka then asks if anyone remembers Katono as a baby, but not even Bonri, the oldest, has any memory of that. And who can blame her? I mean, I only remember the first DVDs I bought as a kid, mostly the ones that taught me what cultural really means. In the end, Bonri says that after living together for 15 years, she can't just ditch everyone. She still sees them as her siblings, even if some of them see her as prime clapping material now. In his room, Erida thinks about everything, but the memory of Yokoyama and her boyfriend f***s with his concentration. He heads to the bathroom to roll a joint. But before he enters, a basket of dirty underwear catches his attention. He almost goes in for a sniff, but the fear of getting caught makes him drop it. He thinks he's going to be alone in the bath, rubbing out a few massive ones to pictures of Yokoyama in his head. But when he walks in, Katono's already there staring at little Charlie for a full minute, before embarrassment kicks Erida's ass right out the door. Flustered, he tells Katono he'll come back when she's done, but she calls him back in to wash her back, because nothing says innocent sibling help, like soaping up your adopted sister's curves while trying not to pop a boner. Meanwhile, Cheyenne returns from his date and runs into Uka, who seems ready to ask about the date like a nosy girlfriend. But instead, she wants to know how he feels about them not being related, and he admits it feels unreal. Like suddenly the family group chat can turn into a thirst trap thread overnight. But what Yuka really wants to know is what Erida thinks. Cheyenne teases her about it, and she replies that since she and Erida were raised as twins for 16 years, it's only natural they formed a deep connection. Deep enough that she's probably already measured how many inches of emotional incest she can handle. Cheyenne believes Erida will never change, and he'll always be the eldest son of the Shiunji family. But Uka softly replies that she hopes so, because if he starts clapping family cheeks, the hierarchy might get real messy real quick. Meanwhile, just as Erida is about to leave, Kotono hugs him from behind, inviting him to her Chamber of Secrets, code for "come see how wet non-blood-related drama can make a girl." Back with Cheyenne, he suggests they can now marry each other since they aren't blood-related, which makes Uka's floodgates open, asking if that's the kind of thing he normally fantasizes about, probably while edging to family photos like a true degenerate. He denies it, but she claims she wouldn't put it past Erida with his dirty mind. Little does he know, she hasn't noticed him gawking at her lately. Just then, she remembers Erida and Kotono's situation when they caught the duo in a position like mating flies, and asks Cheyenne about it. But he drills it into the nosy bitch's head that it's a secret, making her give up. Still, she thinks Erida isn't some intergalactic horn dog who'd force plot development onto a girl. So there must be a better explanation, like maybe he's just saving his stamina for the full harem route. Realizing Uka is a smartass, Cheyenne spills the beans that Kotono confessed to Erida. The shocking reveal nearly makes Uka wake the dead with her loud mouth until Cheyenne tells her to shut up. However, being a nosy mold rat, she burrows her way into his ass for more details. So, Cheyenne explains how Erida rejected Kotono, but that rejection alone couldn't stop the plot, making her crave boiling inside her, like blue-balled rage, but make it yandere. Hearing this, Uka points out an incoming headache, as if she should have been the one Erida was in that SUS position with. Because nothing stings worse than watching your twin get rejected while your own thighs are screaming for plot armor. At the same time, Erida tries to escape a clutch I would die for, but Kotono begs him to stay like Taylor Swift because she loves him. Probably because she already scripted their wedding registry in her notes app. Just the other day, she researched marriages between non-blood-related siblings, and it gave her the green light. Turns out Japanese law is surprisingly chill when your family tree is IKEA flat pack. Erida tells her teens often confuse their feelings, but Kotono fires back, telling him to take a good look. Does she look like some half-brained thought? If Erida were Haruka Kasagano in this dimension, he'd devour this juicy steak of a sister, raw, no lube, no regrets. But he rejects her.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Saying he just wants to be a good brother who will protect her as they grow. Translation, I'll protect you from everyone except my eventual weak moment at 3 a.m. Kotono understands his feelings, but points out how he's both the best and meanest brother at the same time. Best at blueballing, meanest at not following through. Before leaving, Erida checks if the coast is clear, unaware that a peeping Tom was peeping, probably one of the sisters already recording for the family OnlyFans backup folder. As he walks, he struggles to process what Kotono did. Even though his dad confirmed they aren't related, he refuses to flip his sister over like a pancake and have her for breakfast. Yet the intrusive thought of syrup is already winning. To his surprise, he finds CIA waiting in his room. This geek claims she sniffed crack and walked into the wrong room. But she points out if dirty magazines covered the place, he would have locked the door. Since he didn't, it's open for all visitors. Curious, he asks why she's invading his privacy this late, all while trying to hide that he just came from the bath, probably still rock hard from Kotono's backwashing tutorial. Instead, she points out how his room is the smallest of them all, recalling the rock-paper-scissors game they played to decide who got which room, with Uka winning the biggest, because of course the nosy mold rat gets the master suite for spying purposes. In his mind, Erida wonders what the hell CIA is looking for. He figures she must want to talk about what their dad said. But nope, she wants pillow talk, pushing him onto the bed for some plot development, straight to the "stepsis help me test my limits" trope. This ugly loser who was born yesterday panics, wondering what the hell is going on. Like even a blind dude could tell CIA wants to clap him, probably to scientifically disprove incest taboos with empirical thrusting data. She tells him to calm down, and that this romantic getaway is top secret. While Erida's brain chills in the deep fryer, amazed that his sister has skills like the girls in cultural anime, Suddenly, she reveals she saw him and Kotono's bath entanglement. Shocking him, he thought he'd been the perfect invisible guy. Flustered, he throws CIA off like Snake Quan. She says she has faith linked to Kotono's feelings for him and believes he handled the bath situation like a proper older brother, aka, you didn't nut in the shampoo bottle, congrats. But given the risk of it happening again, she wanted solid proof he won't succumb to his sisters. Thus, fan service for the viewers this early in the anime, complete with jiggle physics and awkward boner cam. Erida asks if she couldn't have picked a different approach since she woke the sleeping lion and didn't put it back to sleep. Now it's just raging with morning wood and moral conflict. But since she has no romantic feelings for him, this was the best approach. Classic, I'm just testing your willpower excuse before the inevitable plot twist nut. Then she asks if he knows why incest is banned in Japan, to which Erida got no answer. So she explains that parents with different genes make healthier offspring, because God forbid the next generation comes out looking like a Sharingan reject. She says the word incest won't hold Kotono back forever, and it's a problem she can't ignore. But outside of Cheyenne and Kotono, the rest of them can develop plot. That word plot makes Erida's heartbeat go wild as he gawks at her melons and hips. Because nothing accelerates a heartbeat faster than realizing your sister just greenlit the family gangbang arc. Even though she hates being a plot-making candidate in his eyes, it's only natural for it to happen. Biology plus adopted loophole equals premium Coomer fuel. When she leaves, Erida wonders what the hell the Call Me Chan thing was about, but he gets where she's coming from. Still, he spent 16 years living as their brother, and he refuses to let that change overnight, even if his is already petitioning for an early amendment. The next day, Erida wakes up with 2 swollen footballs. But the memory of Yokoyama drains all the energy he has for school, because nothing kills post-nut clarity faster than realizing your crush is getting railed by someone who actually finishes. On his way out, he runs into Kotono and Bonri dressed as nurses. But instead of secretly snapping photos like a goon for tonight, he yells at them, asking why the hell they're wearing that so early in the morning. Bonri informs the dimwit it's an outfit for her practical that arrived this morning. She's just trying it on with Kotono wearing the spare meaning backup for when the first one gets soaked in family drama. Later, as the siblings walk, some degenerate simps gawk at the sisters, claiming it's leg day like some anime protagonist with a leg fetish, probably planning to nut to thigh-high stockings later, while crying about being single. Meanwhile, Erida slowly walks in the background, completely unfazed by how good his sisters look or smell. He only wants to know how Yokoyama smells, preferably post-shower, pre-boyfriend, with a hint of unreachable pussy. Beanie Lover then asks Erida if girls are better liars than men, since now in public, they're chill as hell, despite all the drama that unfolded at home over the weekend, like they're all just one rejected confession away from a collective family orgy meltdown. At school, girls flock to Cheyenne like Aisho Speed in Tokyo, while Erida goes completely unseen in the background, taking his decaying scent boots from his locker, because his aura is basically virgin who edges to adopted sisters. Remembering Cheyenne's earlier comment about even Kotono going to school like nothing happened, he suggests the girls might not show it, but they're definitely shaken by the situation. His deep thinking moment is interrupted by Manabe, who's the only person that's noticed him all day. She drifts into her gaming fantasy as this boy stares at her from head to toe. The same dirtbag who claimed he's not into his sisters romantically, yet here he is mentally undressing her gamer girl fit. She catches him in 4K, but assumes he's just staring because she has crumbs on her mouth. While walking, Erida admits he's jealous of Manabe for being so talented, unlike him, but she doubts he's talentless. His talent is clearly blueballing himself into oblivion. Outside, a bunch of crazy fans await Manabe, nearly smothering her for a photo they'll probably mix with their electric toys later. The fangirls gush over how pretty Manabe's skin looks up close and say they saw her on a sports magazine, while Erida watches, wishing he could switch bodies like Lindsay Lohan so he could finally experience what it feels like to be wanted instead of pitied. When they're finally alone again, Manabe explains that when she first arrived at school, she took a photo wearing a guy's uniform which blew up. But Erida thinks it's because the school probably assumed she took the photo in her boyfriend's uniform. Since it's her first evening off, Erida suggests they have some fun before heading home. But she drops the news that she failed her class placement tests, so her coach sent her home today. She assures Erida she did her best, but he knows the truth. Despite being a star athlete, her grades are straight trash, so he offers to tutor her. Turns out this loser actually has impressive grades. despite being a nut-willy idiot, proof that all that edging built up some serious brain power. And he can't help but admire Manabe's beauty as she moves in closer during their session, close enough that he can smell the plot developing in real time. However, Manabe couldn't give a single f if she fails a million times, like you with your crush, and instead diverts her attention to some weird cartoon playing on TV. In the end, she fails the kindergarten-level test Arita gave her, and instead of retrying, she starts singing the Ben 10 theme song. Even though Arita came here to study, Manabe's voice pulls him into her plot verse, and he realizes he always enjoys moments with her, especially the ones where studying turns into accidental dry-humping the study desk. On their way out, Arita runs into Yokoyama and immediately makes his worthless presence disappear. Classic invisibility arc for the background NPC simp. Afterward, while walking, Manabe thanks Arita for the best evening, but he wants to know how she really feels about them not being real siblings. She's convinced their dad wouldn't lie to them, just like how my girlfriend lied to me. But she's more concerned about Katono being the youngest, since she'd have a harder time processing all this. Probably because the baby of the family is already speedrunning the breeding route. Overall, she suggests he's not really her big bro, just some older guy at school. Translation: free-use candidate with emotional baggage. Arita tells her to tone it down. Not wanting people to think she's shooting her shot at him, she blocks his path and tells him to stay focused.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Even if his crush has a boyfriend, because nothing motivates a simp harder than knowing the he is taken. Shocked, he asks where she got that info, and she says Uka the nosy mold rat. Then she tells him to cheer up, patting his head, like petting a sad puppy who's about to get cucked again. That night, Manabe gifts Uka a box of cakes and a pair of brand new AirPods, the authentic ones from the Apple Store. Manabe apologizes for losing the last pair, but Uka assures her a sister is better than AirPods you can buy over and over, because family lasts forever. But so does the urge to clap cheeks now that the blood excuse is gone. She gives the AirPods back, telling Manabe she can keep them. Sisterly love at its finest. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Bye!